what Kent's doing.
We have the quarterback of the Kansas State Wildcats, Big 12 champion Will Howard.
So excited to announce Kansas City Sports Network's new soccer channel.
They're taking advantage of a look that they utilized earlier in the game to show the jet sweep motion.
It's a live edition of the KC Laboratory presented by Emprise.
You kind of root for guys to have those moments, and that was certainly a big moment.
Welcome into Mizzou, that's True, your podcast from Missouri Athletics here on KC Sports Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Border War podcast.
Welcome back. Another episode of Ain't No Season podcast.
You are listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
It's a live edition of the KC Laboratory presented by Emprise Bank, member FDIC. The whole gang is here. And let me tell you, whether it's 7.5 yards, whether it's 12 to 13 yards, there's no one I'd rather protecting my blind side than Matty Lane. Hi, Matthew.
Okay, that's a mistake by you. You're getting wrecked. I would not make the top 10 of my players that I would want protecting my blind side, regardless of the yardage depth. But in showing of solidarity, we did wear the same color of uniform today. So
Yes,
I guess it's us versus Craig.
It is. Is that my intro? Am I actually getting introed this week? I don't know. It's been so many weeks.
Craig,
you guys just kind of glossed over it.
I don't do professional intros. It's up to you just to jump in. I mean, you're great and
Okay.
all. Like, you
Okay.
need no introduction. He is the man who needs no introduction. Honestly.
No, I need an introduction. You see, I would be a good offensive tackle, and I can tell you why. I would bring a club and kneecap everybody until I got kicked out of the game. Nobody's touching the quarterback.
You're good for
I'm
one
not
snap.
making it through. Yeah, I'm not making it through the game, but it's going to be successful for a little while.
I just wish the audio listeners could have seen the faces Maddie and myself both made when you're like, I could be a good tackle.
I was just waiting. I had to know what was coming next.
Oh, speaking of tackles, we're going to talk about the linebackers today. They rack up quite a few tackles for this team.
Oh my God.
You know, like
What? I don't get it.
see, Matthew. Also, there are.
I don't want to talk about linebackers anymore, Kent.
Can
That's
we
shocking.
pivot to
'Cause
the offensive side of the ball.
I'm excited to talk about the defense, and you're trying to get me away
That
from it.
pun killed all my ability to care about linebacker play.
Okay, I got a new idea. I've started this past week watching for the 2024 draft. We can talk about that instead, Craig.
Oh, maybe.
Well, the Chiefs draft a linebacker in the 2024. Probably.
Yes.
Please feel free to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to leave a 5-star review for this channel. It helps us grow KC Sports Network so more Chiefs fans can find us and listen to us and hang out with this fun community that we have out here. Speaking of community, there is a few more spots left to come hang out at the KCSN golf tournament. It is theme is tacos and bourbon. Boy, you can't go wrong with that. $500 for a team of 4. You get a round of golf, all kinds of delicious food from Mission Taco, beverages. It's sponsored by Holladay Distillery. And I think Chief Bearcat's going to be cooking some food if you were there last year, so you're going to be getting that as well. There's a chance. There's a hole-in-one chance to win $1 million. There's all kinds of stuff. Like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a fantastic deal for if you've seen golf scrambles at different places. That $500 is a very reasonable price for this. So going to be a lot of fun. Tucker and I will be out on one of the beverage carts. So yeah. I'm sure it will be it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, there's a link in the description of the show. I think you guys have kind of been able to tell. I've been going back and watching random Chiefs all 22 just the last couple weeks because it keeps popping up in our discussions. And you know, I think it's worth talking a little bit about this linebacking group because I'm a little bit excited about this defense. I'm fascinated. Like I'm sure. Yeah, I know, right, Craig? it's going to be such a fun season to watch this defense because there's going to be a lot of young guys that are in year 2. There's going to be some guys, we'll talk about one of them potentially having more opportunity here from last year's draft class. You're getting an injection of talent, with this year's draft class as well. And most of their defense from the Super Bowl returns with more experience and more depth. And one of the positions, I think that gets really interesting and worth getting exciting about is the linebackers. The dynamic of this group is unique. And I just think there's so many solutions and answers that this team could potentially have for so many different personnel groupings with this linebacker core, and there's more flexibility than there's ever been, and there's a little bit more willingness to play with some lighter backs too, like a Drue Tranquill, Matthew. So I want to start with Drue Tranquill. I think this is the guy that I think is worth kind of just like, let's look at him and say, okay, we've seen last year's group. Drue Tranquill gets added here. What kind of role do you think he carves out?
Well, he's the chess champion of the NFL, so that's for starters. He just won the NFL's chess competition. I believe he beat a fraud goal in the championship. Shocking.
He did. Chidobe Awuzie. Yep.
Who would ever thought that the Chiefs would beat a fraud goal in another sport yet again on their way to a championship? Something they've never done. So anywho, that's where you got to start with him, right? He's already catching dubs for the Chiefs against the fraud goals. And then you move on to the actual on the field. He clearly is the guy that has had the best play. Like he has had the best play of all Chiefs linebackers against the pass. He is a guy that has the most kind of experience and versatility and talent in coverage out of this Chiefs linebacker room. And you go back 4 or 5 years now, that's really what that room has been missing for the Chiefs. It got to the point to where Chiefs fans are dying for Dorian O'Daniel to get on the field to play some snaps when he clearly was only trusted essentially to just spy on quarterbacks. Like that was all they trusted him to do. But
once a year.
But we wanted to see him play because he was the guy that potentially had the athleticism to cover. Willie Gay has come along that he does. Willie Gay looks good in coverage at times. He looks lost at other times. And I think that's why you haven't seen him be able to take the role from Ben Neiman or the role from Nick Bolton as the Chiefs coverage linebacker. Well, I think now the Chiefs have a guy that they could foresee taking that role. Drue Tranquill is a guy that deserves to be on the field anytime there might be a pass for this Chiefs defense.
I think that's the number one thing that Drue is going to bring to the equation here is the ability to play the pass at a high level for a linebacker. Now, we're not saying he's going to be Fred Warner or anything like that, but he's got high pass coverage ability. And the Chiefs are very clearly not settled at their dime linebacker position. I think we have spent now multiple off seasons sitting here going, hey, Willie's going to be the dime linebacker. We really want Willie to be the dime linebacker because that athleticism, the way that he can drop into throwing lanes and pick the ball off and do, with the ball in his hands, he scored a touchdown this year. He's one of the 16 guys that did for the 2022 Chiefs. So, I mean, he is really good in those instances. And yet the coaching staff never trusted him to have that green dot and get the full-time role as the dime linebacker. That was Nick Bolton's job. Previous to him, it was Ben Neiman's job for multiple seasons. They want somebody that can go out there and can call the defense from the hurry up, because a lot of times in dime, you get in there, especially in 2-minute situations, you got to have a defense at the ready and somebody that they trust to call it. That's why Nick Bolton got it. That's why Ben Neiman got it. Drue Tranquill plays Mike linebacker. That is something that he has done in the past for the Los Angeles Chargers. He is obviously very comfortable doing it still. I think that he is tailor-made to step right in and do that, and he has that athleticism. He's got the other box, the box that we look at with Willie Gay Jr., and we say, man, that's the guy that needs to be on the field in the dime. He's also got the other side of it that's going to earn the coach's trust, earn the green dot in those scenarios. And so I think it's just the perfect marriage. It was the perfect thing to work out for this defense, a position that they were going to be fine with Nick Bolton playing dime linebacker. They were going to get by with it. The 2022 Chiefs did. They won a Super Bowl and frankly played at his best near the end of the season there. And he was pretty decent in the dime in those instances. Drue Tranquill just takes it up a notch. This is a luxury addition to the room for that specific role, if that's where it ends. But I'm not sure it does end there, Ken.
I agree. But and just to kind of come back to that a little bit, Steve Spagnuolo knows ball.
What?
We've all been clamoring for the athleticism of a guy like Willie Gay in the past. I think this Drue Tranquill edition is because of a lack of trust in Willie Gay. And as I was watching the season late, I could see why. There's just a lot of, when you're looking at the run fits, it kind of seems like you can kind of piece some things together at times with the linebackers. And there's some stuff there with Willie that he might have been out of a gap here or there. And then, instinctually in coverage, it's not necessarily instinctual. It's being a great athlete. And so I think we've all been wanting to see a guy like Willie Gay take over that role in the dime. But Steve Spagnuolo has always prioritized communication, alignment, assignment over we're going to be dynamic in the middle of the field with the linebacker position. I think Drue Tranquill gives you the ability to get aligned, be assignment sound, and be asked to do a little bit more from the dime than what they were asking a guy like Nick Bolton to do. He's got more range. He's got, great instincts and movement skills. He can get his hands on the football a little bit too. So I just the idea of making the dime and making, more obvious passing downs just that much better for a team that's going to be playing with a lead, playing with teams playing, having to sling the ball around the yard a little bit more. The idea of adding Drue Tranquill into the mix for that is just very enticing to me. But you have more, Maddie? Go. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say. So we're sitting here. We all think that Drue Tranquill has the best ability to cover out of the Chiefs linebacker room. He's clearly been trusted with the Chargers. So two different defensive schemes there, but with the Chargers to be their coverage linebacker and pick it up. Do we think that he comes to Kansas City and gets that responsibility, gets that job, gets at minimum the Ben Niemann role where he's playing as your dime linebacker? And that'll also take us into the next part, is where he may or may not play in base as well.
Yes. I believe that wholeheartedly, Maddie. As a matter of fact, Steve Spagnuolo highlighting, hey, he's pretty good with the green dot as well. Steve already told you. It's like, hey, buddy, I got a couple green dots to give out. I'm giving one of them to that guy right there. So
it's like the buzz already is around him. And like, there's been other storylines for us to discuss. And I think we've not only say glossed over it. It was one comment, but it does seem like the reason and the trust that he was given elsewhere has already manifested here. And I think you're right. Like that's a good sign for just that, but also like, hey, he's a guy that's probably going to earn favor of Steve Spagnuolo very quickly, which goes to, all right, beyond the dime, what's the role for Drue Tranquill, Maddie?
So this is where I don't think these things necessarily get tricky, but they kind of do, because the Chiefs do still have Willie Gay. And while, okay, maybe there's a potential punishment for some gambling stuff or some other off-field conduct that may come into play at some point in time, if available, Willie Gay is still a very functional football player that's been very good for the Chiefs. They also drafted Leo Chenal last year in the 3rd round, who there's a lot of kind of hope for. He flashed in small portions, but he did flash, and he was really good at Wisconsin for a guy coming in. So, like, they have these other linebackers on the roster that you would think are going to, get on the field at times too. And then you look at their body types, both Willie Gay and Leo Chenal's body type, look great as outside linebackers in base defense. They're both big. They both run fast. They both can take on blocks. So like, it's kind of hard on paper to see a way that Drue Tranquill fits in there. But then at the end of the day, it goes back to the fact that Steve Spagnuolo was like, hey, he kind of looks good in the green dot. Hey, that guy's kind of smart. And then you go watch the Chargers and okay, he's actually not a bad run defender. Yeah, he's probably limited to a weak side, a backside linebacker that's running over the top. He's not going to take on every block in the world, but that Steve Spagnuolo doesn't need his backside linebacker to take on every blocker that ever comes up to him. He had plenty of success in his past with guys that do work around blocks, that slip blocks. I don't know. I find it hard to look at this linebacker room and you think even in the base defense, that Drue Tranquill is not one of the 2 best guys they can put out there.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back right after this.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network. Entertain, educate, inform. KC Sports Network.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. My name is Craig Stout. Listen, they felt bad because they haven't introed me for a couple of weeks. They thought they'd let me have one after the break. No, Maddie was talking about.
What if we introed you and your headphones just didn't pick it up, and that's why you had to switch?
Well, I did have to switch headphones mid-podcast because they died because poor planner over here did not charge them before the podcast. So, yeah, I know. Yeah, lay that one at my feet. I think what this realistically means, tagging on to what Maddie said just before the break here, I think what this realistically means, you've got 4 linebackers and 3 spots. And realistically, the 3 spots are the 2 sub-package spots and the dime linebacker spot. Because as much as we want to talk about that base Sam linebacker role, guys, it is shrinking rapidly with the number of snaps that are on the field. I know everybody loves Leo Chanel, wants to see him on the field more. Me too. That role is dwindling and diminishing. So realistically, it's those 3. I think for Steve Spagnuolo and what he has done in the past, it actually aligns pretty well for Willie Gay Jr., Nick Bolton, and Drue Tranquill to align and take those spots. We have seen at times, even if there was a better coverage linebacker in the sub package, he likes going with that heavy Buffalo package. We've seen it with, we saw it with Nick Bolton and Willie Gay Jr. when Anthony Hitchens was still on this roster. They would still rotate into that kind of heavier role. They'd run blitz them a little more thumping presence in that Buffalo. And then on occasion, when you were against certain teams, you might see the lighter package. You might see a little bit more of a Ben Neiman in the sub package or an Anthony Hitchens in the sub package. I can see in that instance, Drue Tranquill maybe taking some of the reps away from Willie Gay Jr. And the reason that I pinpoint that, because people are going to say, well, Craig, you just said that, Willie's a good coverage linebacker. Why don't you put another good coverage linebacker out there? He's got the green dot. He's played Mike before. He can cover. He can do all that stuff. I only reference that because every third drive this past season, Willie Gay Jr. got pulled off the field for Darius Harris. And it was very clearly targeted. I don't know why exactly, but it was very clearly targeted to help align something, make an in-game adjustment. And that in-game adjustment required Willie Gay Jr. to come off the field and sit with the coaches and then come back on the field, go out there and do that. So I know we spent so much time why is Darius Harris in the game? Why is this happening? The linebacker that they felt most comfortable with on the field was Nick Bolton. And it makes sense. Nick Bolton is the best linebacker that the Chiefs have right now. But I wonder, with Drue Tranquill on the roster here, if it's a great camp, if it's a really terrific camp for him, if he's going to leapfrog him in those light sub-package roles to the point where Willie's not on the field on those, and he's going to be on the field in those heavier Buffalo package, which is still going to be like 30-40% of the snaps. It's not like he's not going to play a ton, but this means a lot. This camp means a lot for these linebackers because you've got a young guy in Leo Chanel that wants to play and is going to work his ass off to be in the base defense, and he's going to play in the base defense. Absolutely is. It's just what's going to happen in that heavy Buffalo package and what's going to happen in the light Buffalo package, because we know where Tranquill is. We know where Chanel is. How much is Willie Gay going to hold down the rest of those snaps in the middle of those?
Well, and real quick, is the Darius Harris coming on field for once? Just real quick, Kenton, it's all you. Darius Harris coming on the field, it's not like that drive ever ended well for the Chiefs.
Ever.
It usually went quite poorly, actually. Like, it usually went pretty poor. And I'm not saying it was only Harris's fault. It's just, it's not like that adjustment was thrown out there as some kind of curveball that was confusing opposing offenses. It was getting picked apart. Now, like Craig said, once Willie Gay came back in, it seemed like the defense did make some kind of adjustment, usually with the second level, and it did have success afterwards. But just that actual drive with Willie Gay coming off the field didn't work so well. So they were pulling him off the field despite what was actually happening on the field. That's worth something. Sorry, Ken, go ahead.
Well, I'll add to that.
Quickly.
I feel like, the decisions at linebacker always, maybe not conventional wisdom is not the right word, but like we always ask the question, why is Ben Neiman on the field? Why are they making Nick Bolton try to play, so much in coverage? It seems like lack of convention. It's the same thing. It's like what this defense has always valued is smarts above all, right? I mean, that's intelligence above all. I think Spags even said that this offseason. Or maybe it was Veach. Somebody was just talking about just the emphasis that they place on intelligence. And
I would think it would be hilarious if Spags and a presser were just like, yeah, smarts above all. Just like
smarts.
Yeah,
they gotta be wicked smart.
Were you trying to get into your accent there, Craig? I don't know what either one of you are doing with this. I feel like...
Here's the thing. Okay, so Willie Gay, like it kind of becomes apparent the more you watch. Leo Chanel got better and better as the season went on.
Absolutely.
And he was thinking less and playing faster late in the year. And I go back to the play in the Super Bowl where, he plays his run assignment and leaks out and gets out into the flat quick with the tight end and is in fantastic position. Essentially, he's playing through the hands of the tight end. He's really in great position, and he gets Moss on a fantastic catch, which the Eagles were doing all those little plays, those little moments to try to keep things interesting. They were lucky the game was anyways. I don't know. I don't think we have to pencil Willie Gay in anywhere. Why do we have to pencil Willie Gay anywhere? There's clearly an issue. There's clearly issues with him that they're pulling him off the field every third series. Leo Chanel is a high quality athlete that seems to be on the right direction of figuring things out. And if the value if the value that Steve Spagnuolo places is intelligence above all, why are we so hell bent on putting Willie Gay?
Well, he's 6'1", 245 pounds, runs a 4.46, and has a broad jump that's 136 inches. He will run through a 315-pound man's chest and put them on their back.
Will Leo.
Leo Chanel.
Yeah.
And he's just as likely to do that as he is to get out to the flat faster than a running back and top him so you can't even throw the ball that way.
Yeah.
Like I could put together this package of Willie Gay highlights that you're like, oh yeah, that's why he would try to see playing time for any possible team.
Counterpoint, really quick. Leo Chanel is 6'2.5", 250 pounds, runs a 4.53, a 41-inch vertical jump, 128-inch broad jump.
Counterpoint. I watched him at Wisconsin. He was the worst linebacker in coverage at Wisconsin. So
listen.
He was.
Are you guys done with your relative athletic score off?
It was mock draftable.
Sorry, your spider graph off. Are you done with all of that?
Can you say that?
I don't know. Anyway, no. The reason that Willie's there is because in man coverage, in those sorts of scenarios, he is electric. He has an innate feel for being in throwing lanes, and that's not something you teach. We talked about it a lot. You can go and listen to Derek Johnson talk about his feel, the way that he can drop into those sorts of roles, be able to find the ball in those sorts of roles. That's hard. That is hard to do. That is not something that you're just like, oh, we'll just teach that up. No, that is difficult to do. If you don't have that sorts of thing, the bar to overcome that ability is very difficult to clear. And to Maddie's point there, Leo does not have that same feel and ability. I'm not saying he can't learn. I'm not saying he can't grow as a player. That definitely is the case. But that natural feel, that natural ability is so hard to teach. DJ had it. And when he sits and he watches Willie Gay Jr., when we're doing these defensive film breakdowns and stuff like that, he's sitting there and he's watching it. He's like, man, that's it. Like that's exactly what you have to do. And it's not something that you're drilling on a whiteboard. So even if you're looking at this from the perspective of it needs to be Mike level, calling the defense smart all the time and all of that. Yeah, sometimes you just got to have dudes that have that innate ability and have that natural talent to be there, which Willie does, and that's why he makes plays on the field.
As Tucker D. Franklin says, Willie Gay is Willie good. At that. No, but all that to be said, he still gets taken off the field every through.
I know, and that's the hard part. Yeah,
and I'm not saying. Listen, let me. How do I? I'm not saying like Willie Gay is going to be just deemed irrelevant. I'm just saying I think Leo Chanel's going to eat into Willie Gay snaps this year. I do. I think. Maybe. I don't know exactly what Willie Gay's role will be, and I think Leo Chanel will eat into that a little bit too.
He's so big and fast though. Like I get it. Leo Chanel's he weighs as much, but like he's not as big. He's narrow. He's a narrow guy with shorter arms. Willie Gay's massive. Willie Gay is
really big.
He's a big dude. And then he also runs that fast. It's just like, I feel like Willie Gay maybe hasn't so far panned out to be the guy that the flashes show. And that's why we're not talking about him as the surefire starter. Like I said, you could put together this highlight package that says why he's going to play snaps for 32 teams. I could also put together a low light package that say why he's not going to start for 32 teams, right? Like you can find both. And now you're going into year 4 now, and you're like, okay, what do we have? Have we got there yet? Are we ever going to get there? I don't know. So maybe he's always better off as a weapon. Maybe he's always better off not starting. He's a guy just being inserted in certain roles to do very specific things on that play in this personnel package. And that's where his best role is going to reside. I don't know how it plays out. I would be a little interested or intrigued if Leo Chanel plays more snaps than him. Like at the end of the year, barring injury, I think Willie Gay still plays more snaps. Like I just think that he's going to do a little bit more than Leo will. But like that's kind of the battle to watch, I think. 'Cause I think we all kind of agree Drue Tranquill's getting a lot of them.
Youthful Regis makes his return to the show after this really quick break.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network. Entertain, educate, inform. KC Sports Network.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Youthful Regis is back. We are here once again. We are here to play the 2022. Yes, I know that's in the past. The 2022 Chiefs trivia game between the man who needs no introduction, your reigning champion of like 18 games straight, Craig,
18.
the Renaissance man Stout, versus the one, the only, the Wonder Kid himself, Hollywood Kent Swanson, with finger guns, apparently. So now
I get a point already, right?
You should. Here is where we stand. I have 6 trivia questions based around the 2022 Chiefs season that are adjacent to the 2022 Chiefs season, because answers will come from multiple years. But they are all connected to the 2022 Chiefs season. There are 6 questions. You guys will take turns choosing which question you would like to answer. If you pick the question and get it right, 2 points. If you miss it, the other gets a chance to steal for 1 point. And there's also some curveballs in there, so don't give me that look. And who wants to begin? Hollywood or the Renaissance man?
I'm going to defer to Hollywood here. Give him the opportunity to get on the board first. I know he struggles with Youthful Regis's games.
I'm already lost. I'm just going to answer the question.
I doubt it, but pick a number between 1 and 6. Which question would you like to start with?
We'll go with Patrick Mahomes' college number 5.
In 2022, the Chiefs set the franchise record for most playoff snaps by rookies in the secondary with 492 snaps. Did I confirm that? No. It sounds correct, though. Place the rookie DBs in order from the most snaps to the least snaps played in the playoffs. This is worth 2 points. Talk it out. Tell me your final answer. I would love to hear some banter here. Get in his head.
Oh, mental warfare. So
I know the first player that he's going to pick, and it's going to be wrong.
Jaguars.
No, I think it's.
Do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I gotta. There's. Are you gonna add Najee Johnson into this?
This is purely defensive snaps. Any rookie that has played a defensive snap as a defensive back counts in the playoffs.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so it's going to be Jalen Watson. It's going to be Trent McDuffie. It's going to be Joshua Williams. And then it's going to be Brian Cook.
That is the order you are going with.
That is the order I'm going with.
You would be incorrect. Craig, the Renaissance man.
Did you psych me out? Are you looking at the stats, Craig?
No. I would never cheat.
Calling?
Wow.
Oh, that is a hefty accusation. Do you have any proof of this, Wonder Kid?
Well, he's looking off screen and going, yeah,
I was reading Twitter, buddy.
I bet you were. And Twitter is the URL Pro Football Reference?
Yes.
Would you like to steal a point?
Okay, so I'm going to go with, let's see. I actually like...
From most to least snaps played in the playoffs.
To least snaps. I'm going to go Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, Brian Cook.
Ding it, ding it, ding. 1 point on the board for the Renaissance man.
Your psyching out actually worked.
It's not even close. Trent McDuffie played 201 snaps. Jalen Watson, 146.
See,
Joshua Williams, 89.
I was going to say Trent.
I had the order in my head, and then Craig dropped that little nugget, and he actually got me thinking. I was like, did Jalen Watson
love the mental warfare? Renaissance man, it is up to you to pick which question you would like for a chance to score 2 points.
Number 1, baby.
Ooh, this is a very on-topic conversation right here. Nick Bolton had 108 tackles during the 2022 season, which was the second most in Chiefs history. Only Derek Johnson has recorded more tackles in a single season.
My God.
How many tackles did Derek Johnson have? And
oh no, I'm in trouble if I don't know this. Like, I have to answer to him.
Kent's typing now too. Is he cheating? Throw accusations.
No.
I don't believe that Kent would sully the game.
No
I don't think that he would, even though he's very desperate for a win. He's never won before.
What?
Nick Bolton had how many there? You said 122, right?
108.
108. Why is 122 in my head? I'm going to go with 122. For some reason, that's in my head. He broke the record too.
That is incorrect. So now, Kent, the Wonder Kid, you have a chance to steal a point, but I'm giving you an option. You can go for 2 points by giving me the exact number, or 1 point by just correctly guessing over or under.
Give me the over-under.
Well, you got to pick the over.
You got to pick whether I'm over or under.
You are going to say if the correct answer. No. You are saying if the correct answer is over or under what Craig said.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Craig, you guessed 122, correct?
I did.
Under.
You are correct. You pick up 1 point.
What was the number?
The number was 109.
Dang it.
Wonder, it is DJ tied up.
That I'm sorry.
1-1.
Nick almost got that.
I'm going to text him that. Kent, you are up next. Which question would you like?
Let's Brian Cook this.
For the people at home, that's number 6.
Patrick Mahomes eclipsed 5,000 yards for the second time in his career. 8 other QBs have done this at least one time in their career. We are going to name them, but we're going to go back and forth until someone fails, and the other will get 2 points. So you start it, Kent.
This is fun. This is the most fun I've had. Peyton Manning.
Correct.
Drew Brees.
Correct.
Tom Brady.
Correct.
Matthew Stafford.
Correct. Halfway down.
I'm blanking. Aaron Rodgers.
Incorrect. You are out. Your look is making me second guess myself, so I am going into the research department now. But my quick research says no, he has never done it. Don't ever look at me like that again. Craig, that's 2 points for you. Do you want a bonus? Can you name me 2 more quarterbacks that have done it for an extra point?
I don't think I can.
I think you should make him lose a point if he doesn't. Make him
no, that wasn't the original parameters of the question.
It's a chunky.
Figure out what you do.
Can we mute the contestant that is talking out of line, please?
I'm gonna say, there's a sneaky one in there, and I'm not remembering. And I'm, gosh,
Jay Cutler.
It's not Jay Cutler. It's just not Jay Cutler. Shoot. Did Kurt Warner break it?
He did not. So that is just 2 points for you on this question.
Okay,
you guys got
Who are the other
Peyton
two?
Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Matthew Stafford. You missed Dan Marino.
Oh,
you missed.
Of course.
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
I would have never gotten that.
Justin Herbert. And you missed the wildest of wild cards, Jameis Winston.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that the year that he had all the crazy touchdowns and picks? Like it was like 40 and 40?
30 and 30. He went 30. He went ESPN documentary and went 30 for 30.
Craig is leading by 2.
Yeah.
And it is up to him now to choose.
Well, since I'm up by 2, I got to pick number 2.
Ooh, this is a good one. Juju Smith-Schuster had the 5th most receiving yards for a Chiefs player in their first year with the team since 1990.
Okay.
He had 933 yards.
Mm-hmm.
What 4 players finished their first season with the Chiefs with more receiving yards? You will get 1 point for each correct answer. So you can get up to 4 points.
Okay. First season with the
Chiefs.
Is this is just my question for Youthful Regis.
Yes.
Does this include tight ends?
It does.
Okay. That's good to know. Since 1990, then, I'm going to go Tony Gonzalez.
You can stop there because you are incorrect.
No!
He did not put up over 993 yards as a rookie. So, Kent, it's up to you. Same rule set applies.
First year with the Chiefs.
First year with the Chiefs. Just say one at a time, because as soon as you're wrong, you're out.
Andre Rison.
Correct. 1 point.
Yeah.
Eddie Kennison.
Incorrect. He was close if I remember. I don't have that number. Andre Rison in 1997 had 1,092 yards. He was the most.
Maddie,
right behind him.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Jeremy Maclin with 1,088
was
yards
my number
in 2015.
2. Damn it.
Below him, Dwayne Bowe with 995 as a rookie.
I had Dwayne Bowe
than that. Man.
And finally, Derek Alexander in 1992
Yeah.
with 993, tying with Juju Smith-Schuster.
What was Tony's first year?
I had 3 written out. I had Eddie, Andre, and Dwayne.
I'm actually looking up Tony right now. All transparency, trying to look. Oh, he only had 368 yards.
I don't think he had a ton of yards as rookie.
Man.
Okay. Ooh, that was still good.
Maddie threw me for the loop there with the tight end information. Then I got stuck.
It's kind of, you psyched me. I'm really mad about that.
Hey, listen.
Right now,
the leader of the show psyched me out here. He's trying to.
You had a chance to pull out a lot of points there, Kent, and you kind of fumbled the bag after the Rison one. So
it's 3-2 right now.
Correct. You are up as well. There's 2 questions left.
3 and 4. Let's Rishi Rice it.
Chris Jones tied his career high in a single season sacks with 15.5. Justin Houston, well known, has the most in the single season for the Chiefs with 22. Derek Thomas is second with 20. Who is tied with Chris Jones, who's done this twice, for 3rd in the single season sack record for the Chiefs?
Jared Allen.
That is correct.
Yes,
2 points.
Damn it. I was hoping he was going to go with Tomlin.
You know why?
I know why.
You know why, and that's why I'm so glad you had to answer it too.
Man,
I know. This is
man.
That was a softball.
You know,
we are on to the final question. It's a 3-pointer, Craig. So you plenty have a chance here.
Did you add
Isaiah Pacheco had 3 games with over 80 rushing yards and better than 5.5 yards per carry.
Offense.
Name those 3 games.
Oh,
1 point per game. 80 yards and over 5.5 yards per carry in the same game. Not just one or the other. He had to accomplish both for the win. No pressure.
I'm not going to come up with any of them. I'm telling you this right now.
Uh-oh.
I got too many offensive questions in this one. Damn it. Okay.
Don't listen to the private chat.
I'm not listening. I'm not even clicking on the private chat. Okay.
Trying to get a phone a friend.
Nope. I'm not even looking at any chat right now. I'm respecting the integrity of the game, despite what Kent may have
accused me of. That's a bonus point right there. It is now 4-4. So everything rides on this question here for the two of you. I don't have a tiebreaker. Please don't make me.
I am in
come
trouble
up with one.
I am in trouble here. Do I get 3 guesses, or if I get one wrong, it's over?
It's 1 by 1 by 1.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Let's change it up because I don't want to find a tiebreaker. You get 3 guesses and however many rights points, but anything left gets a chance to steal.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
You get 3 games to guess.
See, I feel like I'm Kent's in the catbird seat because I'm going to list 3 games that are going to be wrong, and he's going to have those 3 off the board.
If you are guessing a game of a team the Chiefs played twice, you have to specify the game.
Okay.
I don't even know who they played last year.
Okay. Shoot, man. I really don't remember Pacheco's
everything rides on this
at all. I know. I'm done. So I just gotta guess and get it over with. Put the people out of their misery. There are people screaming at their phones right now.
People real mad right now.
I am about to make people. I'm sorry, defensive guy can't remember the running backs stats.
Fake position.
I am gonna go Jacksonville Jaguars.
Which one?
Postseason.
One guess.
I am going to go Denver Broncos, second matchup. That doesn't feel right. I'm going to go.
Are you sticking to that guess or are you retracting it?
No, I'm going to stick to it. Integrity of the game. Las Vegas Raiders, second matchup. Final guess.
Okay. The Jacksonville Jaguars in the playoffs. Isaiah Pacheco had 95 yards and 7.92 yards per carry. That is correct. That is 1 point for the Renaissance man.
The one I had written down. The one.
The Las Vegas Raiders game. The second matchup. 8 yards per carry, but 64 yards.
Crap.
And what was your other guess?
The second Broncos matchup, which I know is wrong.
31 yards and 3.44 yards per carry. So 1 point. You have finished with a total of 5 points in this version of the Youthful Regis game. It is up to the Wonder Kid himself. All the pressure is on his shoulders. The weight of his hair is on his shoulders right now.
Oh, man, that's a huge weight.
He gets 2 guesses for the remaining 2 games.
Okay.
1 point. He gets them both. He wins. If he gets 1, I don't know what we're doing.
I'm going to go 49ers. I'm going to go Bengals playoff game.
The
Bengals AFC championship game.
All right, so with the 49ers, Pacheco had 8 carries for 43 yards and 5.38 yards.
I didn't think that one. I'm a little worried about this second one, though.
Correct. You guys are worried about the Bengals playoff game?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, how would you feel if I told you had 10 carries for 26 yards and 2.6 yards per carry? Craig Stout, the Renaissance man, stays undefeated in the Chiefs trivia game, the 2022 edition.
Over a bonus point.
There was absolutely no cheating to be had.
The integrity of the game,
The
Contavious.
podium is yours, Renaissance man. Who would you like to thank?
I would like to thank all the people that are listening right now, all the wonderful people that are watching right now, my family. I couldn't have done this without them. Youthful Regis for being the greatest host in the history of game shows. Kent Swanson for consistently showing up despite getting his ass kicked every time. I thank everybody. This is the best part of my day. So I really do love this, and I love doing this. Thank you so much, Youthful Regis.
The final two Pacheco games were the second matchup with the Los Angeles Chargers with 107 yards and over 7 yards per carry, and the Houston Texans with 86 yards and 5.73 yards per carry. You had your chance, Hollywood.
Where's the
Try
zip
better
line?
next time.
He's just here for the zip line.
Youthful Regis, the show has to end, so
Yeah, I was waiting for you to do it. I thought you might get one dub today.
no, I'm good. You got it.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the KC Laboratory. We appreciate it. You are getting the outro with the Youthful Regis voice. Craig Stout is your winner once again. We appreciate you guys. We will see you later in the week.